To give the bare minimum of effort to make this episode look distinct from the last episode, I've decided to change shirts. So instead of wearing my Zero Hoots t-shirt, I'm wearing my Rocket Raccoon and Groot t-shirt. Because corporate mascots and logos for the win! Nah, I just like it. I actually bought it from the person who made it at a Comic-Con, at a comic convention. And they were nice people. I wish I could make out the name on the bottom, because they're actually pretty talented artists.
Time to feed the trolls. Season 6.
Hey guys, it's me, Cute Fuzzy Weasel. As you can probably tell from my weird-ass hair and my tired eyes, I just got done filming FTT 106, the net neutrality episode. I can't wait for all those comments telling me to be less political. God damn it, Weasel. You cuck. Why the fuck do you care about people? Fucking libtard. I want my internet to be beholden to what some rich asshole thinks is good for me. This episode, however, is not political. I don't think. I haven't watched the whole thing. This is a console wars video. I know, right? How many fucking years since I done one of these things? A long fucking time, that's how many years. It actually took me a while to find one of these that wasn't a parody. And to be completely honest, I'm still not 100% on this. I don't even know if the channel I found this thing on is the same channel it originally went on. It could be a stolen video, but I'm pretty sure it is. I'm reasonably sure. I'm within 5 or 7 yards of being sure.
You are watching the Sony TV network.
Oh yeah, we're already in for good times now. Rated D for dicks.
What's poppin', people?
Popcorn and pop rocks. Pop.
Well, I'm rated D and I've tested positive for swag.
Holy shit, I'm sorry. I didn't know. Man, that really sucks. Like, that really sucks, dude. Genuinely, I'm sorry to hear that. What stage is it in?
Now, I didn't want to have to make this video.
But I farted, so kind of had to.
Because I myself am a PC gamer.
Called Sony TV.
Though I'm not someone that exclusively games on PC.
So like most people then.
PC is, really my second or third choice. I'm primarily a PlayStation gamer.
This video isn't gonna get demonetized for the background music, is it?
I also like Nintendo quite a bit. And PC and Nintendo kind of switch around for second or third place. It depends on, the time of year, what games are out, things like that.
I swear to Christ, if I can't monetize this video because of the background music you fucking use.
But I'm ashamed of myself to be calling myself a PC gamer sometimes.
Of all the things that I could be ashamed of myself about, this is the mountain I choose to die on.
When I see how the PC community behaves here on the internet.
Because console owners are angels.
Recently, I've seen someone really start to get a lot of attention. I think his name is Rags.
Well, that's his old username. His new username is Riches.
And I don't understand what's wrong with this guy. I think he needs to take a look in the mirror, really.
I don't know who the fuck he's talking about, but him saying that guy needs to look in the mirror while he uses that background music, like, goddamn, dude, could you? I don't think you could come up with music that work better for the official douchebag theme. Like, I really don't think you could. I mean, aside from You Only Meant Well, like that song, maybe that's the best douchebag theme, but this comes in a close second for me.
I don't understand why people like him feel the need to bash on these console peasants. I don't understand it, because PC has its fair share of problems that these PC nerds don't want to accept.
It's almost like acting like a huge asshole on the internet gives you attention and therefore views and money. So weird.
Let me just run through a few. real quick, okay? Because I'm totally 100% unbiased.
The man named Sony TV is unbiased.
And I call it like I see it, you know? Now, as an Assassin's Creed fanboy...
And we're done.
I still enjoyed Assassin's Creed Unity quite a bit, okay? And I got that on PS4. Now, the game at launch, yes, it had technical problems. Yes, it had frame rate problems.
You know, a lot of little problems that some uptight PC people might expect them to have ironed out during, development, whatever the fuck that is, right?
But the game still worked, you know? There were some levels early on in the game, you know, that there are these stained glass windows in these churches where when you were around them, the frame rate would dip quite a bit. Sometimes when you're around Notre Dame, the frame rate would dip. There was also a sneaking mission early on. In that mission, there was some frame rate drops as well.
These PC nerds just need to accept that it's totally understandable for a game to be delivered in a pre-alpha state at full retail price, and then they just fix it with paid DLC. I don't understand what's so hard to understand about that.
But at the end of the day, there weren't that many areas where the frame rate was bad, okay? And again, at the end of the day, the game was still playable.
What was the rationale behind this background music? See, the longer this video goes on, the more that music starts to grate on me, and I want to know, what the fuck was this guy thinking?
The characters still looked right. Compare that to PC, where many people couldn't even run the game. For a lot of people, the characters were not showing up on screen properly. You guys saw those now infamous bugs. I mean, the game was a mess on PC. And that's because the majority of people that matter game on consoles.
People were upset about Assassin's Creed Unity because they delivered a game that had major problems because they were being forced to. It's corporate crunch time. See, I don't need the sequel to a game the year after it comes out. I don't need that. That's not to say that I subscribe to Valve time, where I'm willing to wait a full fucking decade or more between games. But I do kind of subscribe to the idea that you release a game when it's done. Unless, of course, you're Bethesda. And a lot of people are not gonna like this, but really, Bethesda? I love the glitches. Come on, it's not a Bethesda game without the glitches. But everybody else, man, just release the game when it's done, you know? You don't have to say yes, in November we'll have this game, and then November the next year we'll have its sequel, and November after that we'll have its sequel, and November after that we'll have its sequel, because you get fatigue, and people stop caring. At least I think you do. The actual numbers show that I'm way wrong about that.
Okay, so developers don't care to appeal to the PC community so much.
Yes, the game that didn't work right at launch was also optimized for the console.
You know what I mean? It's always gonna be consoles first, and then PC second.
One, only because more people own a console over a PC, and two, no it's not. Have you seen the world of indie games?
In the minds of developers. And one of the reasons for that may be, now I'm not saying this is it, but it may be just one of the reasons that so many PC gamers pirate games.
No, you can pirate console games too. The reason developers often put consoles over PCs is one, you don't have to worry about making a game work on a multi-spectrum platform. That is to say, not every PC is the same. You know, some have better graphics cards, some have better memory, but every single console is itself. A PS4 is a PS4 is a PS4 is a PS4. And because more people own a console, it just makes economic sense for a developer to say, okay, we will develop for the console first, and then kind of develop for the PC to make sure it can run on that system. Although as consoles become more PC-like, that's probably going to change.
I mean, do you guys remember when Far Cry 4 came out, There were a lot of PC gamers complaining about some stuff in the game not working right.
No, we complained because the E3 demo looked better than the retail game because the developers had dumbed it down for the console players because consoles are not as powerful as PCs.
And then the developers came out and said, hey, if you're having these issues, that means that you pirated the game. Because normal working versions of the game that people buy, we made sure don't have those problems, but we made sure that the pirated versions do have these problems.
Yeah, and if you didn't like Ghostbusters, then you're anti-woman. It's subterfuge. It's a way of passing the blame on so you don't have to get hit. It's a shame they couldn't coat the game file in solar radiation so when we copy the files, a beam shoots out of the computer right into our eyes like Raiders of the Lost Ark. Extra points if you know where that joke came from.
And this is also the same Ubisoft who at one point said that over 95% of their games on PC that people play are pirated.
And from what I can tell from this article, nobody fucking believes them either. Seriously, where the fuck did he get this number from? Where?
That's insane. And then you look at the recent sales numbers for Titanfall. EA says the game has sold over 7 million copies on PC, Xbox One, and Xbox 360. Meanwhile, Respawn in the past have said that they had over 10 million players on Titanfall. What does that mean? It means that 3 million pirated the game on PC.
Or it could mean that those numbers reflect two different time periods. Or it could mean that that first number was not accurate. Or neither number is very accurate.
So yes, PC has its fair share of problems, and it's largely because of pirates.
And I know this having looked at two different websites. Now please appreciate my douchebag music.
Okay? Now, moving on from that to another point that's kind of connected to it. Consoles don't really have complications.
Consoles! They have no complications!
You know, everything, it's that one piece of hardware, and you know, developers deal for that specific type of hardware, and that's it. You don't have, you know, 100 different types of PlayStation 4s the way you can have hundreds of different types of PCs.
Yeah, and I covered that. What I didn't cover was how developers handle that situation. See, there's this thing called minimum system requirements. And what a developer does is they say, okay, this is the minimum specs for a computer to run this game. Now, I will admit that prior to about 10 years ago, system requirements were kind of a big deal. And yeah, maintaining a gaming PC back then was kind of like long division. But over the last decade and a half, gaming hardware has become so ubiquitous that really just about every computer can play just about every game. Yes, you have newer titles come out that require you to have better hardware, but for the most part, just the casual PC gamer never really has to upgrade their machine. Really. I'm saying that nowadays. I mean, I've had my same setup in my computer for the last 5 years, 6 years, 4 years. I've had the same hardware in there for 4 years. And with the exception of upgrading my memory and video card because I do a lot of video editing, I use my graphics card for After Effects acceleration. It actually works out really well. As far as gaming goes, I haven't really had to do anything. Now, I built myself a really good computer back in 2013, so that's not going to be an issue for a while, but for the most part, yeah, the days where you had to rush out and get the newest, best spec'd computer to play the newest, best game, it kind of fallen through. And a lot of that does have to do with the influence of consoles on the gaming market and how you want them to work with everything so you get the maximum audience, but a lot of that also has to do with there's kind of a plateau of graphics that we're hitting right now. Things have gotten almost as good as they can get without a big leap in computing hardware. So for the last 5 years, there hasn't really been any big quantum leaps in graphics like we used to see back in 2002 and 2003 and 4 and 5 and 6. You know, where you have physics and facial animations and better animations and particles. Nowadays, it's just kind of hyper-realism. There you go. The biggest thing nowadays is VR, but that's spread across the entire spectrum. Consoles and PCs are having to adapt to that. But regular monitor gaming, like, no, not really.
All these different drivers, graphics cards, all that type of stuff. So you have an easy, simple, basic solid
I am really starting to fucking hate your music.
setup with consoles, you end up with a very solid gaming experience on consoles because everything has to be structured for that specific piece of hardware. Whereas with PCs, because of so much variety, you can have tons of complications.
Yeah, but with that variety, you also get these things called mods. Now, some of you console players out there might know more about mods now than you did a couple of years ago because mods have made their way onto consoles. But us in the PC world have been playing with mods since ever. And because of the variety in PC hardware, we can take a game like Skyrim that looks like this, vanilla, and turn it into this. Yeah! And it's true, you can do that on a console, but not to the variety you can do it on a PC.
That's one of the reasons that there were so many different issues with Unity on the PC. And moving on to my last point, going about games, Assassin's Creed Unity being a multi-plat, you don't really have a lot of exclusives on PC, at least that are worth it.
Yeah, ditto with consoles. I could care less about the new Gears of War and Halo. Really, those two franchises have overstayed their welcome as far as I'm concerned.
With consoles, you have tons of high-quality exclusives that
High quality.
people all over the place, are championing as being some of the greatest games ever made.
Care to give us the titles of these games? Somewhere?
And I don't think it's any coincidence, and my buddy Dobby Potter has made tons of videos about this, that so many PC fanboys are making petitions begging for these different exclusives on consoles.
Yeah, because they'll look better on better hardware.
You look at games like Uncharted 4, The Last of Us, God of War, Days Gone is looking amazing. I can't wait to play that. Gran Turismo, Ratchet & Clank, The Last Guardian, all these great exclusives on PlayStation.
And some of them only on PlayStation, just like you have exclusives that are only on Xbox and exclusives that are only on Nintendo. Meanwhile, us in the PC world just have to contend with emulators. Oh right, we can play them, can't we? All it takes is a little ingenuity. The kind of ingenuity that if you do it to your console, the company shuts it down and sends jackbooted thugs to your house to stomp your groin in.
And then Nintendo as well. Don't forget, Nintendo's got 3D Mario games. You got Zelda, you got Smash Bros, you got Mario Kart. A lot of great games on Nintendo platforms as well. Even Xbox, before, Halo and Gears were exclusive, no longer.
Oh, Gears of War 1 came out for PC, but when did Gears of War 2 come out for PC? Did I miss something? It's like Halo. Halo 1 and Halo 2 came out for PC, but Halo 3 didn't. And neither did Halo Wars, but then Halo Wars 2 came out for PC. Keep them on your platform or don't, but don't stick us in the middle here.
But, at one time they were. And, you don't really have these big name games on PC that are exclusive.
Dude, mods and indie games. We don't need exclusives. We can make our own exclusives.
You know what I mean? And that's the biggest problem with PC at the end of the day, is that it doesn't have exclusives that are worth it. Okay?
Have you ever wanted to punch music? Because I want to punch music.
For me personally, the only PC exclusive that I got was Metro 2033, and that ended up coming to consoles later on as well.
Yeah, that's typically what happens. A game releases on PC, it gets really popular, and then it goes to console. And that's why I keep bringing up indie games. To develop on a console, you need that console company's approval. To develop on PC, you'd need Unity. That's it. Unity or some other dev kit or program. You just need to know how to program, and that's it. You can make whatever the fuck you want on a PC, and you don't have to worry about anything. You don't have to worry about distributors, you don't have to worry about publishers, you don't have to worry about lockout chips, you just make what the fuck you want. And that's why I like PC over console, because you can't have that on a console. Because with a console, you're always seeking approval. You don't have to worry about shit when you make stuff for PC. If you're not concerned with making money or pissing people off, you can make whatever the fuck you want. And yeah, sometimes you end up with shit like this, but other times you make stuff like this. Stuff that get laughed out of any boardroom, but then you make it and they're like, oh shit, There's actually people who want to play this. There's a lot of people who want to play this. You think anyone at Sony would have looked at this in 2009 and thought, oh yeah, we want that piece of shit looking thing running on our console? Yeah, fuck you. And that's the glory of the PC. We have the best exclusives. Not because we have the biggest publishers making the fucking blockbuster games every year, no. We have independent people with weird ideas making those games in a free market. That's what we have over you.
So there's just not that much on PC in regards to exclusives.
There is a sea of exclusives. You're just too dull to find it.
There's just not. I mean, as far as quality goes, sure, you may have these bad indie games here and there.
Oh, yeah. That's a really shitty indie game, isn't it?
But you see the reviews on Steam. These games are not good.
Oh, yeah, because this is nothing but quality right here.
So, that's really it. I mean, PC doesn't have worthwhile exclusives the vast majority of the time. And you have all these other issues.
Trust me, listen to my music. Would that music lie to you?
So, next time you have these PC nerds that feel the need to rag on console peasants.
Such self-esteem and assurance you have, calling yourself a peasant.
Yeah, I think you need to slap them with some information to shut them up, because they're really getting out of hand right now, are these PC nerds. And like I said, I'm ashamed.
You should be ashamed of your taste in music.
At times to call myself a PC gamer because of these clowns. So that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Keep it frosty.
My god, this guy has a douchebag saying for any occasion. Hi, my name's Rated D and I've been diagnosed with terminal swag. Hey, you're not gonna shake my hand? Where are you going? Man, whatever, dude. Keep it frosty. Reeboks. And the video just ends with more of his fucking awful music. Anyway, this is Cute Fuzzy Weasel. That went on for a long fucking time, and I really hope I can get it done in a reasonable amount of days. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button and the Taco Bell down in the corner. I like the name for that icon. It's the Taco Bell. Don't forget, if you were a Patreon, you saw this video 2 days early, like these people. My Patreons. Support me on Patreon because the pinwheel of YouTube justice has started to reach my channel. I can't wait for all my videos to be advertiser unfriendly. Yay! And as always, have a good day.